Good morning, my dear students. Let me continue yesterday's class. So, yesterday I was talking about a Red Rose poem written by Robert Burns, and we were talking about different literary devices, different literary elements the poet has used in the poem. Yes. So today I will be talking about more other elements that the poet has used in this poem. Yesterday we discussed about symbolism, we discussed about alliteration. So today let me discuss about more other elements. Okay. So third element is there, third tool is there that the writer has used in this poem, and that element is assonance. Okay, Assonance. Yesterday I had taught you alliteration. Alliteration means it is the repetition of consonant sounds. Yes, it is the repetition of consonant sounds. I had said you yesterday. What about assonance then today? So let me tell you, assonance means it is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Okay, assonance means it is the repetition of vowel sounds. Vowel sounds means A, E, I, O, U. Okay, vowel sounds. Okay, so if there is repetition of vowel sounds in the same line, and we call, see, it is a assonance. Okay, so for example, okay, in the line from the poem, let me tell you, there is the line, I will love THE, thee, still my dear. Okay, this line is there in the poem, and in this line you could see the sound I sound. Okay, repetition of I sound. So this we call it as what? Assonance. Okay, so are you getting me, my dear students? Are you understanding me, my dear students? Very good. So repetition of vowel sounds, repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Yes, in the same line. Just I gave you example from the poem. Okay, so there is the line, I will love thee still my dear. So this is the line there, and in this line the repetition of I sound, we call it as what? Assonance. Okay, we call it as assonance. Okay, now let me go through next other elements as well. The poet has used, okay, other elements also here in the poem, and let me go through next. Another element is there, that is simile. Okay, simile. So you have already studied in your lower grades while you were children there. Okay, so simile just like is black as quail, is white as snow. You have studied this, isn't it? So here writer, the poet or Robert Burns has used another literary devices, another literary tools. Okay, that is simile. Okay, and simile is actually a device used to compare an object or a person with something else. Okay, so comparison of an object or a person with something else. कुनै पनि object अथवा व्यक्तिलाई कुनै अरु चीजसँग compare गर्नु भनेको we call it as what? Simile. Why it is done so? So to make the meanings clear, to make the meanings clear to the reader. Okay, to the readers. Okay, simile means it is a device used to compare an object or a person with something else. Okay, and here in this poem, okay, in this poem, a red rose, okay, the poet has used so two similes here. Okay, so you could see first, okay, simile there in the first line. So let me tell you, oh my love is like a red rose. Yes, oh my love is like a red rose. Here the poet compares his beloved Here the poet compares his lover with what? With a red rose. कविले यहाँ आफ्नो लभरलाई केसँग दाँजेका छन् ल भन त? केसँग कम्पेयर गरेका छन्? रेड रोज. ओ हामीले यसलाई नै हामीले के भन्दो रहेछौँ ल हेर त? एउटा वस्तु अथवा पर्सनलाई कुनै अर्को चीजसँग दाँज्नु भनेको that is what? That is simile. Okay, that is simile. And in this poem, okay, in this poem, a red rose, okay, there you could see just two similes that the poet has used. Okay, and the first I had already said you that is used in the first line of the poem. So the first line of the poem is, "Oh, my love is like a red rose." See here, here the poet is comparing his lover. Here the poet compares his beloved with what? With a red rose. Okay, with a red rose. So are you getting me or not, my dear students? Are you following me? Okay, poet has compared his beloved to a red rose. Okay, so this is what we call simile. Okay, so and similarly another line is also there, you could see. Similarly, see, second is used there in the third line of the poem. Okay, again in the poem, there in the third line, what you could see, there is the line, "Oh, my love is like the melody." Okay, "Oh, my love is like the melody." Here the poet compares his love with sweet melody. Okay, melody means music that comes from the musical instrument. Okay, so poet has compared his lover with what? With sweet melody. Okay, before I said you, poet has compared, "Oh, my love is like a red rose." Here the poet has compared his love, his lover, I should say, his lover with a red rose. Again now, "Oh, my love is like the melody." Here in this line, the poet has compared his lover, okay, with what? Sweet melody. Okay, or you could say the poet compares his love with sweet melody. So this we call it as what? Simile. So did you get my point, my dear students? Did you get my points or not? कुनै पनि अब्जेक्ट अथवा व्यक्तिलाई कुनै अन्य चीजसँग दाँज्नु, कम्पेयर गर्नु भनेको त्यो डिभाइसलाई हामीले के भनिदो रहेछ त? सिमिली भनेर भनिदो रहेछ। र यो कवितामा सिमिली दुईटा सिमिली दुई ठाउँमा प्रयोग गरिएको छ मैले भनिहाले। एउटा तिमीलाई फर्स्ट लाइनमै मैले भने, "Oh, my love is like a red rose." Here the poet compares his beloved. Here the poet compares his lover with a red rose. And similarly in the third line, again there you could see written, "Oh, my love is like the melody." Here the poet compares his love with sweet melody. Okay, all of you? Okay, now let me go through next, okay, other literary devices or literary elements that the poet has used in this poem. So another element is there known as hyperbole. Hyperbole, hyperbole. Okay, then what is hyperbole then? The poet has used even hyperbole here in this poem. Okay, so hyperbole is again another device, okay, that is used to exaggerate a statement for the sake of emphasis, okay, for giving emphasis. Okay, poet, they sometimes what? Use hyperbole. Okay, so here also in this poem, a red rose, the poet has used hyperbole, and it is a device used to exaggerate. So exaggerate means to enlarge beyond the truth. सत्यता भन्दा बढी व्याख्या गर्नु के, सत्यता भन्दा बढी बयान गर्नु के, okay, बढी बयान गर्नु. I mean to say that to enlarge beyond the truth, that is exaggerate. Okay, the poet has used this device to exaggerate a statement for the sake of emphasis or for giving emphasis. यहाँ कविले के गरेका छन् भन्दाखेरि you could see even in the poem. Okay, poet has used hyperbole in the last line of the second stanza. Okay, last line of the second stanza, what is written there in the poem? Okay, till the seas gang dry, till the seas gang dry. Okay, he says that his love will flow. He says that his love will flow even when the seas dry up. भाइ बहिनीहरु, समुद्र सुक्छ जस्तो तिमीहरुलाई लाग्छ? प्लिज टेल मी. समुद्र सुकेर रित्तै हुन्छ जस्तो तिमीलाई लाग्छ कुनै दिन? What do you think? बिल्कुलै लाग्दैन. हामी सिद्धिन्छौं. We people are mortal. One day we will go up. Yes, but the seas, rivers, lakes, sea, that will last forever, isn't it? So here also, यहाँ वास्तवमा के छ त भन्दा कविले आफ्नो लभरलाई जबसम्म सीज सुक्ने छैन तबसम्म मैले मेरो लभरलाई माया गरिराख्ने छु. मेरो लभ चाहिँ मेरो मायालुलाई रहिरहने छ. Okay, until, so what he has said here, okay, here in the poem, okay, he will love his beloved till the seas are dried. Okay, he will love his beloved till the seas are dried. And similarly another line is also there. Okay, my dear students, and the rocks melt with the sun, and the rocks melt with the sun. भनेको रक्सहरु सूर्यको किरणले जबसम्म मेल्ट हुने छैन तबसम्म मेरो माया मेरो लभरलाई रहिरहने छ. ओके, यो भनेको के हो त भन्दा सत्यता भन्दा अझ बढी पछाडी गएर कविले इम्फेसिस दिनको लागि आफ्नो लभरलाई इम्फेसिस दिनको लागि यो कवितामा यो इलिमेन्टलाई कविले प्रयोग गरेका हुन्. मैले भने भाइ बहिनीहरु, यहाँ एउटा लाइनमा छ, what is there written? And the rocks melt with the sun. See, and the rocks melt with the sun. Okay, until and unless the rocks are melted, until and unless the seas are dried. Okay, the poet loves his beloved. I mean to say that until and unless, see, till the seas are dried or the rocks are melted by the heat of the sun. Okay, till the seas are dried and the rocks are melted by the heat of the sun, the poet loves his beloved. Okay, the poet loves his beloved. So this element I call you what is a hyperbole. What is this? Hyperbole. भाइ बहिनीहरु कुरा बुझिरहेको छौ? Are you getting me? Are you following me or not? अब कुनै पनि कुरालाई इम्फेसिस दिनको लागि, अब मैले भने आफ्नो मायालुलाई आफ्नो लभरलाई बढी इम्फेसिस दिनको लागि कविले यहाँ हाइपरबोल प्रयोग गरेका छन्. The poet has used hyperbole here, and I had already said you where you could see such hyperbole, and I had given you two lines from the poem. One line is there and the rocks melt with the sun. यो एउटा लाइन छ कवितामा, and the rocks melt with the sun. Again another line is there in the poem. Okay, till all the seas gang dry. So I mean to say that the poet loves his beloved till the seas are dried. Yes, and rocks are what? Melted by the heat of the sun. Okay, so he loves her until the end of human life. So it has meant, said such and such here in the poem. Okay, he loves her until the end of human life. So he loves his beloved till the seas are dried. He loves his beloved till the rocks are melted by the heat of the sun. Okay, so this we call it as hyperbole. So did you get me, all of you? Yes, okay, very good my dear students. So now let me go through next element. Okay, next element. So you could see another element there, refrain. R-E-F-R-A-I-N, refrain. Okay, so refrain means here the lines that are repeated again at some distance in the poem. Okay, the lines which are repeated again at some distance in the poem. Okay, in the poems we call them, we call it as what? Not them, we call it as what? Refrain. ओके र तिमीले यहाँ कवितामा यहाँ एउटा लाइन रिपिटिसन भइरहेको तिमीले देख्न सक्छौ केही डिस्टेन्समा व्हाट इज द लाइन एन्ड आई विल लभ दी स्टिल माई डियर तिमी हेर त पोएममा एन्ड आई विल लभ दी स्टिल माई डियर सो यु कुड सी द रिपिटिसन अफ दिस लाइन here in this poem or red red rose okay so these lines we call it as what refrain okay so this has become a refrain why because it has been repeated in second stanza as well as in third stanza the same line okay lines that are repeated again at the same distance okay they are in the poems we call it as refrain and here also in the poem okay or red red rose you could see there one line and I will love thee still my dear okay this line you could see okay and I will love thee still my dear has become a refrain there is repetition of this line okay in second stanza as well as in third stanza and we call it as what refrain did you get me did you get my point or not my dear students refrain भनेको के रहेछ बुझ्यौ त भाइ बहिनीहरु त्यस्तो लाइन्सहरु जो चाहिँ केही डिस्टेन्समा कवितामा रिपिटिसन भइराख्छ ती लाइन्सहरुलाई नै हामीले रिफ्रेन भनेर भन्ने रहेछौं ओके र यो कवितामा तिमीले सेकेन्ड स्ट्यान्जा र थर्ड स्ट्यान्जामा हेर एन्ड आई विल लभ दी स्टिल माई डियर so there you could see the repetition of this line in second stanza and third stanza okay so we call it as what refrain okay we call it as what refrain poem okay so this poem okay is composed by Scotland's national poet Robert Burns okay or red red rose is a poem composed by Scotland's national poet Robert Burns okay and here the poem has the form of a ballad the poem has the form of a ballad and it is meant to be sung aloud yesterday even I sang the song yes in the form of song okay so here what you could see तिमीले यो कवितामा के देख्न सक्छौ त भन्दाखेरि the poet is in love with a woman okay poet is in love with a woman and the beloved is very beautiful okay beloved is very beautiful like a red rose okay beloved is beautiful like a red rose in June and not only this the poet has said she is as sweet as the melody she is as sweet as the melody of the musical instrument played in fine tune okay from the musical instrument there comes the music okay so in the similar manner the poet has compared his beloved okay with the melody of the musical instrument okay the poet compares his love to a red rose okay that is newly sprung in June I mean to say that is very fresh okay very fresh okay and not only this okay so the poet compares his love to a red rose that is newly sprung in June. Okay, that is newly sprung in June. And that is very much fresh. Okay. And not only this, to the melody that is sweetly played in tune. And sweet melody, the poet compares his beloved with a red rose and sweet melody to intensify his deep feelings for her. To intensify his deep feelings for her. Okay, the poet has said that here in the poem, okay, his beloved is very fine and slim, is very beautiful. And also I had said you before also, the poet loves his beloved till the seas are dried and the rocks are melted by the heat of the sun. The poet loves his beloved till the seas are dried and the rocks are melted by the heat of the sun. So did you get my point? Also the poet has said here in the poem that he loves his beloved until the end of human life. Oh, मान्छेको जीवन चोला सकिने अन्तिम अवस्थासम्म पनि कविले आफ्नो लभरलाई लभ गरिरहने कुरा कवितामा व्यक्त भएको छ भाइ बहिनीहरू. सो डिड यु गेट माई पोइन्ट? ओके, र कवितामा भाइ बहिनीहरू कविले के क्लेम गरेका छन् त भन्दा he also addresses his beloved, that his love will stay still, सधैँभरि रहिरहने छ, until the seas dry up and the rocks melt with the heat of the sun. हो, त्यति बेलासम्म जबसम्म हो समुद्रको चाहिँ पानी जबसम्म सुक्दैन, रक्स जबसम्म घामका किरणहरूले जबसम्म मेल्ट हुँदैन, त्यति बेलासम्म कविले आफ्नो मायालुलाई माया गरिरहनेछु, माया रहिरहनेछ भनेर कवितामा व्यक्त भएको छ भाइ बहिनीहरू. ओके, and he has said here in this poem that for some reasons he has to go far away from his beloved. केही कारणले आफ्नो बिलभेडबाट कवि टाढा जानुपर्ने भएको छ. ओके, but he promises, तर कवितामा पोएटले प्रमिस गरेका छन्. स्पिकरले यहाँ तिमी देख्न सक्छौ, the poet here has promises to return even if he has to travel thousands of miles. हो, thousands of miles हिँड्नु पर्यो भने पनि कविले यहाँ तिमी देख्न सक्छौ लास्टमा यो बाचा गरिएको छ, म फर्केर आउने छु तिमीलाई भेट्न. ओके, I will return back to meet you again, no matter even if I have to walk how much. See, even if I have to walk thousands of miles. ओके, 1000 माइल्सहरू हिँड्नु पर्यो भने पनि म तिमीलाई भेट्न आउने छु. I mean to say that the poet promises to meet her. The poet promises to meet his beloved. Okay, even if he has to walk 10,000 miles. Okay, the poem is all about this scenario. र कविता सबै यी सिनेरियोहरू जो मैले तिमीहरूलाई बताएँ यिनै गन्थन मन्थनको बारेमा कविता छ. So did you get my point? Okay.